Hello there. I'm here to tell you all why this Katerino drama is really, really stupid and pointless, and how the whole hate mob against her is really not accomplishing anything, and it's all kind of stupid. Now, I am aware of what happened. She cheated on her boyfriend. Uh, First of all, that is an extraordinarily petty thing to be mad about. And now I understand he's got some mental health issues, some depression issues, which, as a side tangent, I don't think he should be streaming if he has those, because surely he realizes that the fickle and shallow people on the internet are going to turn on him just as quick as they turned on her. They're like jackals. Um, but that tangent aside, back to Katerino. Now, should someone be punished for cheating on their spouse? Absolutely. Um, but how much punishment does one deserve? Some people say, oh, she should be harassed until she quits. All right, going by that line of thinking, should everyone who cheats on their spouse be harassed until they quit their job? And if not, what makes Katerina special? Now, someone might say, why are you going to support someone who cheated on their spouse or cheated on their boyfriend or girlfriend? I'm not. I'm just trying to understand the situation here. And I hate to burst your bubble. I really do. You support people who have cheated on their husband or wife or have cheated on their boyfriend or girlfriend every single day, whether you know it or not. Every time you say pay the electric bill, you think every single person at the electric company has never cheated on their husband, has never cheated on their wife or their boyfriend or cheated on their girlfriend. I mean, they all get paid from the money you put into it. The money you put into the electric company goes out to support all those people. You think none of them have ever done this thing that you're mad at her for? If you think that, you're naive. What about when you watch TV? You know, at the end of a TV show when all those credits roll up, you think none of the actors, none of the producers, none of the people who do the sets or the makeup or the costume, you think none of those people have ever cheated on their boyfriend, have ever cheated on their girlfriend? You think all of those people are completely innocent? If you do, you're pretty naive. So it's kind of not a viable goal to never support someone who has cheated on their wife or their husband. So what makes Katarina special? Just because she's a public face, she somehow deserves more punishment for the same crime? So if that warped logic is true, then what is the amount of punishment she deserves? Like, exactly how many nasty comments does she deserve? Does she perhaps deserve 500,000 nasty comments, and so far only 186,000 have been given to her? Like, what kind of numbers we talking here? Anyway, that's generally why this whole thing is stupid. Plus, all these people attacking her, where were they when all the other people were cheating on their wives or their husbands? I bet if you were to look at their social media accounts, like if you were to look at each and every one of their Facebooks or Twitters or whatever, like if you just had that kind of free time to just casually check, I'll bet you would not see them attacking anyone else who have done the exact same thing. And I'll bet they know someone who has. I almost guarantee you each and every one of these attackers knows someone else who has cheated on their wife or their husband or their boyfriend or their girlfriend. It's just too common of a thing for these people not to know someone else who's done it. And I wonder, have they harassed them? Like, if you were to find out the guy who runs the supermarket down the street, if you were to find out they cheated on their spouse, would you harass them? Would you? Would you protest that store? Would you tell all your friends to not shop at that store? If not, why? What makes Katerina so special? What makes people unironically give a shit about this one streamer? And that's my thoughts. Here's what I think. I think what it is this celebrity worship culture. People build up this graven image in their mind of what this streamer is, what she should be, this perfect little picture of her. They start to think of her as more than a human. And then when she shows that she is a human, people get disenchanted. People, get upset that she's not upholding their perfect standard of her. What they should have done is never had that perfect standard to begin with. See, I never get swept up in these hate mobs because I understand that content creators are human. I am sometimes uh, disappointed by what they do, and I don't always agree with what they do. And sometimes I'm sad, like sometimes I'm upset that they do something stupid or kind of wrong. But because I don't hold them in this impossibly high regard, I'm not as devastated as these people are attacking her. And it's really just not healthy to be that obsessed with someone. So just take this as an indicator, take this as a sign to not worship celebrities. They are all human. They will fuck up eventually. And to not be devastated when that happens, you have to not think of them as gods. You have to not worship them. Remember that the most talented creators are human. They will fuck up eventually. Don't let that devastate you to the degree that it has devastated these people, where they feel they just have to harass this person even though they know other people who have done the same thing and they don't harass them. Because, quite frankly, if Katerina deserves to be harassed until she quits her job for this offense, then every person who has ever committed this offense deserves to be harassed until they quit their job. And that would be millions of people out of work, more than are already out of work, over something so petty. So yeah, fuck these double standards. If one person deserves it, then everyone deserves it. And if one person doesn't deserve it, then no one deserves it. Now, sometimes double standards are good. Like sometimes they're okay if, say, it relates to your job. Like, I probably would not be fired if I got a DUI or if I drove unsafely because my job has nothing to do with driving. Now, if a bus driver or a taxi driver gets arrested for some unsafe driving, like they cut someone off or they got a DUI, then perhaps their job should be looked at because that relates directly to their job. Katerino is not a marriage counselor. Katerino is not a relationship expert. Her cheating on this person has nothing to do with her job of entertaining people. Therefore, it shouldn't matter. Now, you are within your right to be like, oh, well, uh, because she cheated, I don't want to watch her anymore, which I would argue is still pretty shallow because, again, you support people who do that every single day without knowing it. But, you're within your right to. But to unironically go to her Discord and spam it, to create alt accounts to go and spam her Discord, like, that just goes into the territory of you're a loser with no life. Just be that mad at someone on the internet because they did something you disagree with. I mean, you gotta rethink your priorities here. What is your life that you have nothing better to do than to create alt accounts because someone on the internet did a bad and it made you. But that's all I have to say. See you around.